sounds correct. Let's get my account set up real quick so we can get the copy trader set up here. Mhm. I feel like I'm only gonna have this rest of this week to trade these main fundeds because, oh, sorry, didn't have the amp turned up. Yeah, next week's gonna be that rollover week, so you know how that goes. Uh, I don't know what it is with rollover week, man. I feel like I'm a rollover week curse. Cursed. Right now, we're around like a nice pivot area, guys. Man. Oh, wrong. What do you guys think? We can break back below that pivot and get through the 800s. I feel like we get a good push down. Looking at my super trend, a little super trend indicator that I use, the 15 minutes uh, trend line is pretty much down there right below the 200s. We already hit it once this morning. But also for the push down, we also could run into that 75-80 area. If you look to the left there, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about an hour and a half consolidation around the 1, 2 o'clock this morning. So man, we are actually at the low last night during that ASA session down at the 700. So that was actually a low. We were in that trade in a long last night, but we ended up getting out of it. All right, so let's check for news today. All right. So if you're new here, let's see. Let me start this real quick. All right. Well, here we go. I don't think the job claims initial is going to do anything. So it looks like at 12 o'clock today, we'll have the 30-year bond auction, which that doesn't really do a whole bunch. And most of the time, we're not taking trades around that time anyway. So it looks like a fairly quiet day as far as news goes. Well, we already had the initial job claims. So no really big news this morning. So we can kind of see what tomorrow brings and see if we're going to be kind of hampered about whatever news we get. Uh, Looks like we have the core price index tomorrow at 7:30, but most of us aren't really trading at 8:30 in the morning. Oh, we do have jolt numbers at 9 o'clock tomorrow, which will be 10 o'clock. So we do have quite a bit of little news tomorrow. Gold, oil, 2 star. I don't really know what those does, what those do. Don't really follow those very well. Hopefully everybody had an okay trading session last night. We did fairly good. We took one gold trade with one mini for 5 points. Then we took a few little NASDAQ trades. For shorts, I would kind of need us to, man, you would kind of need to be under the 800s. I feel like you would need to hit the 75s back to the 800s, then back through the 75s just because of that resistance. And I think we could finally make our way down to that pivot down at the 700s of our overnight low. What's up, Fish Lips? I stayed up late too last night. Stayed up too late last night, Fish Lips. I'm feeling it this morning. My eyes hurt. The motivation is not there today. So maybe we'll just stream until probably 10:30 today and call it good. You need some more sleep too? Yeah, no kidding. I stayed on way too late. Dude, Fish Lips, you see the 700 was the low last night? Man, too bad we didn't hold that. Just let the runner go and it went straight back up all night long, 200 points. I do kind of like the shorts below 800 this morning, but I know if you look at that 75, there is so much consolidation right there around that 75. So apparently last night at that 700 point was a 1 hour order block. I'm going to wait for the opening to start in 15 minutes. Looks like we're going to have a fairly small 15-minute range this morning, so it looks like it's only going to be about 15 points. So the breakout is looking pretty good for very, very low risk this morning. Oh, never mind. It just got a little bigger. I thought we were already out of that first 15 minutes. It's just now the 15 minutes. If the 15 minutes can get through the let me look at it on my chart. I have the 15 minutes because I was actually watching the 15 minutes this morning. So if the 15 minutes can print under 800, which is about to happen, 20 seconds away. So let's see what happens with this new 15-minute candle. There's a super strong trend right here on the 15 minutes at the 800s. Ooh, 15-minute printed right above it, and it's probably going to... That kind of sucks that we pushed down that hard in that last few minutes because that just made our stop loss 25. That made that like a 50-point freaking 15-minute candle. Watch out for a bounce here at the 70, 75s. There's your 75. $75 to the tick on that one, guys. So the 15 minutes did lose that 200. This is kind of what we were looking for. Hopefully after the opening, man, all these pre-market moves keep happening so much before pre-market. It's just, it sucks. Another thing that, Methodical Man's been bringing up to me is for some reason, whenever the market opens up outside that 15 minute, whatever way it's open out, that's which way we end up just blasting. If you notice yesterday, we opened up out of that 15 minutes and we just blasted straight up 80 points at the opening. So the 75 bounce was pretty easy to see. If you pull over to the left, you can see all this hour and a half worth of consolidation here at the 75. To me, I think the safer play would wait for the 5 minute to print and retest that 900 or 800. Do like a little retest where it kind of wicks back into the 97s. Yeah, 99, 800. Now, if this gets back above the 800, but see, I like to downside because that's also where the midnight candle is, down at 725, 728, right back into that 1 hour OB. So we are definitely looking for the move to the downside this morning. So that also kind of let us run those Asia lows. So this gold line that you see where it says kind of a slash dot, that is my midnight candle there. So we could get some nice rejection off the 25 or even the 700 this morning. I don't think we get through that 1 hour order block on the first hit this morning. They said the president. Is the president speaking? Let me make sure. Why be doing this stuff at the market opens? I don't see nothing, so just make sure. So there's that retest of the 99 200 area. So like I said, that's pretty normal price action to go from 75 back up. Another retest. What was that? 95. Man, this thing, you would think this third time we'd push through here. What do we got? Still 10 more minutes. So maybe we'll take all the orders out here. This way, when we finally do open, the market will be able to blast down to the 25s. 25s down to the 700s. No. Damn. Dude, third morning in a row that we're blasting out of our 15-minute trade, man. Goodness. So it looks like we're definitely about to run this 4 hour candle here too. So then the second 4 hour candle is down at the 700s. So this definitely right here is setting up for hopefully a nice rejection out of this area. I don't know if it'll continue up higher and higher, but I would think that you might be able to pick up a few points off the low down here. I just don't know if we're going to be fortunate enough to get the pull back into the 15 minutes. Let's see. That kind of ruined our opening trade there. That pushing down below that 200. Like I said, that was the short bias this morning underneath that 97. If I'm looking at the 15 minutes played out perfect on that short. But like I said, it seemed like every day this week, whenever we have opened up outside our 15 minutes from 9 to 9:15, we always end up blasting in the direction that we're going. So I don't know how much of a pullback we're going to get at the opening. Yesterday, it did not pull back into our area of resistance because I want to see like a pullback back up to the 800s, then come back down through, and that's where I will try to short if we get that opportunity. Like I would like to see us go back from the 50 back up to the 800s, or even up to like 825 where that pivot is, then come back down through the 800s. That would be kind of the setup I would like to see. That way we're back into our 15-minute for a retest, especially if we can retest the 800s. Then have you like a little, I'll have my order sitting hopefully around the 70s or 80s if we got enough time. Then look for us to push back down into the 50s and even the 25s where that midnight candle is down at 722, 725. Long bias, I would need for us to print a 5-minute candle back above the 725s for my long bias. Then you probably only got about 50 points up there to the 73s until you run into the previous day low. So, whew. What's up, Shooter? How are you doing today? Here's the pullback. Let me get a clock set up so I can watch the time whenever it pops off. All right. That way we can kind of see the time as it counts down. Then once this is over, we don't need it no more. It says, is the pips the amount of ups and downs on a candlestick within a time zone? There's 4 pips and a point. So every point represents one, it takes 4 ticks to make a point. So I'm looking for 60 pips, which is 15 points, and 120 pips on the last runner, which is 30 points. Oh, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Don't push now. Damn it. I kind of wanted to have my entry at that 75, but doesn't look like we're going to be able to get it. It's already happening now. Come on, man. All this crap keeps happening pre-market. No. Son of a bee, man. I swear. That's a bummer. Come on. uh, mm. Ah. That's probably going to stop me out. I mean, go right back down to. All right, we'll log off those accounts. And the short's going down because I don't see it getting back above the 200s. That wick was insane. All right, we go to the. So we'll have to log off these Bulanox accounts because, like I said, those are one and done type of trades. Still looking for a move to the downside here. Dude, that was such a delay. All right, that one was break even. Wow, nasty, nasty 5 minute candle this morning. So we already logged off our Bewley Knox accounts. We're going to be red in the Bewley fundeds today. So instead of being 800 away from a payout, we're back to needing $1,000 on our payout with the Bewleys. So now we'll just have to be patient and see if we can push down to that 700. Then if we can get back above the 24, 25s, then we would be long biased back above those levels. So watch out if you're taking the long right above the 15 minutes. This could just be a 50% pullback. So this is a 50% pullback into that 15 minutes. What's up, user? How are you doing? That is a pivot right there at the 20s. You're doing well? Nice. We'd have to kind of get above this yellow line that you see. This is a pivot on the 15 minutes and the 5 minutes. My first trade was a loss this morning. I was picking to the downside and we wigged back up. Right now we're in no entry. We're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with this 20 to take our second trade. Or the second one was actually a break even. And this would be the third one here. These are trading on 3 different accounts. So the first trade was with Bulanox, the second trade was with Luciv, and this is with Apex. We're still bouncing off this pivot at the 23s. I still like the move to the downside for us to rerun that previous low, that Asia low down at the 700s. Nice. Thanks, user, from watching from Kenya. The 5 minutes would have to lose the 800s for us to short. If you long, you might get a push up here, at least 10 points. You just got to watch out for that daily low sitting up here at 75. Shoot, I just noticed we ran that previous 4-hour candle. You need a print above that 20 level for longs. You can see we keep just kind of wicking above it. Oh, did my chart just freeze? Oh, I was about to say. Still kind of bouncing off that 97. That was a dirty wick, wasn't it? Hmm. Still can't get through that Fibonacci pivot at the 23s, guys. That's kind of what we're banging the market is just kind of banging its heads on right now. Let's see. It says finding a job to have. Woo. So far, guys, very choppy this morning. 97 is kind of my line in the sand here. We're looking for that midnight candle if it can get follow through. We're still in it for 1 micro on our runner here. Got 1 minute for a new 5-minute candle. What's up, Trucking? How are you doing? Like I said, we're looking for the 730s to get hit here. You don't trade until 9. Anticipate a bounce here at the 25s. Come on, I front ran it. I was about to say, come on. There we go. All right, watch out for the bounce. Nice. Woo, nice back-to-back good trades on the Apex account the last 2 days. Unfortunately, we did take a loss on that first one on our Bulanox. Unfortunately, this is what we were looking for on that first breakdown this morning, but didn't get it. Didn't get it. All right, so we're going to be 200 in this profit on this funded, and we were in the red 180 on the other. This is a 1 hour order block here. Or 15-minute. Man, there's your low. Dude, why can't I get this when we took our trade a while ago? It would have been a banger morning. Unfortunately, it happens. Can't win every single trade. The only way I can take it short now is once this 5-minute prints and have it pushed back up into the pivot or either that or get back above that pivot. We're at the got less than 2 minutes on this next 5-minute candle. So for some reason my timer's not working on my charts here, so I have to keep constantly looking at the clock here. So we're waiting for a new 5-minute candle here, and to see, we want to see a wick back into like the back into this pivot, or maybe back above the midnight candle. What's up, Nicks? Dude, we took a L on the fundeds this morning, Nick. We got in one move or so too early. We were bearish this morning because we figured we would run these lows from overnight. But so we're going to have to, like I said, those are the counts that I usually take one trade on. And so whatever happens, happens. So we'll have to live with the $180 red day on those. We just made $200 on this funded account, though. So 1 for 1 with the fundeds. Sorry, it was hard not to long that. Was looking for the pushback up to the 75 here. Actually, we'll do the 70. We'll just off play it by about 5 minutes. 5 points. Ah, crap. We're hitting the top of the 4-hour candle. I just realized that. All right. Runner got stopped out. We're hitting the top of that 4-hour candle. If we can print below this pivot here, we should push. Either we print below this pivot or we bounce off this pivot here. We've already hit this pivot quite a bit of times, so This was the one that we hit off about 4 or 5 times last night. Got about 2 minutes left before new 5-minute candle. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. I don't know what the deal is with my timer, like, not working. Got less than 1 minute left. What I like to see for this candle to print here, then push back up and retest the 700s, retest the bottom of this, either this wick here or the pivot there, then that I feel like I'm gonna probably short that. Then you got another pivot all the way down at 630. All right, here's a new 5-minute candle. Just waiting to see if we get some kind of pullback here. This next pivot's sitting at 25. Is that right? No, that's not a pivot. That was from yesterday. So this is not a today's pivot here. This was from yesterday. Remember, guys, the midnight candle did not let us down again today, even though we did get on that move one move too early. The midnight candle was pretty much a destination. So we made that midnight candle, that's the 30 level. That's why we were short bias this morning. Short bias also, for some reason, like I said, we always run that midnight candle. I just couldn't withstand this type of like huge drawdown for the pushback up there in the opening because you never know. So we're waiting to see if we can get some kind of push back up here to the 700s. I want to switch over and trade my Bulanox evals, but man, I don't want to be tempted having my Bulanox logged on since we're red on those accounts. We don't want to have no temptations or like, you know what, I'm gonna try this trade here and dig myself in a bigger hole. It's better just to turn them off. Don't look at them. Don't look at them, Nick. Accept the loss. We did get a nice $200 win on the Apex funded, so we are still we're still $800 away from a payout with them. So we're sitting at, we got to make 26,600. We're sitting at 25,800. All right, about to have a new 5-minute candle here. It's the top of the hour. New 15 minutes, new hourly candle. So usually we get a little bump at this time. I was hoping that we would pull back into this pivot up here at the 700s for a retest, but I'm not sure if we get back through this swing or not. There's a lot of downward wicks here right below the 4-hour candle. So far we are red on 2 fundeds, green on 1 funded. We are still green from the overnight trading session on 2 evals. And we took a Lucifer trade. That was that trade I tried to get long earlier before it came back down, where I was just looking for the 70 tip, a 70 hit to kind of retest the bottom of this swing. All right, here comes that pivot retest. Let's see if this thing's going to hold or not. Shoot, it did jack 20 quick points, didn't it? It's a little harder early in the morning sometimes on these levels, Nick. I hesitate too. It's a lot more comfortable to trade these trades at nighttime or later in the morning. That when it's early in the morning like this, the volatility is insane. So I mean, we easily could break back above this, get back above the 20s, and have another push up here. I'm hoping this is just creating a little bear flag for us to push back down. I couldn't tell you if there's much of a learning curve between futures and options because I've never traded options. And I would imagine stocks are the same. You know, it's just support, resistance. The candlestick, you know, probably depending on your candlestick patterns that you trade. I would imagine the stocks and futures are the same, but options, I'm not sure. I don't have very much experience with the option. Actually, I have zero experience with the options. But I think if you're trading stocks, I mean, I think you'll be fine. If you do okay with just finding stocks to trade, I think you will probably do okay with, your charting. Here's the midnight candle. See how we just kind of bumping heads with that midnight candle there? Yeah, that's where I started with the ES too. Oh, whoo. Look at this pump. We got to wait for a new candle. We got about a minute and 10 seconds. I usually wait till after the opening at 9:30. So we lost our first trade this morning. I mean, we had our direction pick right, but I have a limited drawdown that I use. So if I hit my drawdown, it doesn't matter. Even if I was right on the direction, I still hit my drawdown. I wasn't going to let myself pull back 40 points in drawdown to grab that winner. So I have to just, whatever happens with my drawdown happens, because most time I just risk 20 points on my drawdown. And today I actually risked 30. Instead of losing the 120, we lost the extra $60. So that's how we got up to the 180. And we pushed up 20 points higher. See if this is going to hold or not. Don't know if it's going to hold yet. I hit the 25. I was hoping to be a little bit later on that. This one's kind of iffy, guys. We're trapped in between my two levels. Got in there a hair too early on that one. We're at my midnight candle, the one I also like to short off of. If we break this gold line, we're moving back down. It looks like we're about to break our pivot. All right, so I guess we'll be looking for shorts if we break it. Yep, just broke it. Oh, that's going to be dirty if that thing pops back up. We're switching, like I said, we're switched over to eval trading. We're already done funded trading. Oh man, don't tell me that thing's going to blast it. If we get back above the 25.30s, I'm going to try to long again. Just got in that thing a hair too early at that midnight candle. Yeah, we're using the fib pivots. We're switching over to like I said, we're trading eval now, so got to get through this midnight opening candle here. Probably have a new 5-minute candle. So probably on this next 5-minute candle, if this one stays inside this would be kind of like a inside bar type trade for anybody that does the 5-minute inside bar. Just waiting to see what side of the candle we break here. Waiting to see if it's going to break this inside bar here. Sorry, just kind of focused on that 5-minute candle there. There's the break of the 5-minute candle. Ah, didn't have my runner on there. Come on. Broke that 5-minute inside bar. I actually used to take those quite a bit. I haven't taken one of those in a while. I'm annoyed that my runner is not on there. So on my evals, we're looking for 10 points in runners, guys. So we hit the 10 points, look for runners. So it just turns it more to like scalping. As long as this doesn't break the low of that inside bar, this is still considered a long. What did you burn yesterday, Nick? Oh, you got greedy. Yeah, I went in a little heavy on that last trade with 10 micros on this eval. Now we're going to be back down to just 2 and see if we can get some little bonus wins. We break that gold line, it's going back down. So that's the midnight candle. That's the midnight opening there where that gold line is that you see right here. Up. Damn. Just cannot get a runner going. I was trying to get back in with 2 micros, see if we can get that runner up to the 75 and try to pick up like 50 points. Another pivot retest. So far, the one fundeds were up 200. This is the eval that you see me scalping over here. Dude, look at this pivot bounce. Yeah, if you only need $150 for 2K payout, I'd definitely be just make sure you got the very best entry you can. Definitely don't follow my eval trades. The one trade that I liked this morning was this initial short, but like I said, unfortunately, we got stopped out on the first time trying the short, but we were able to catch the second short. What's up, Michael? How are you doing tonight or this evening? Still got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. So below the pivot, guys, I'm going to be short bias on my eval here. We got that other pivot all the way down at the 620s. What's up, Chris? How are you doing? $60 left. Yeah, it would need to. I was hoping the 75 would hit, then we would push back and retest. Push on back up there. Push. Get up there and retest the 700s. I'm just going to drop it and see if we get down to the 50s. Remember, guys, this thing still could pull back up to the 700s. All right, runner got stopped out. So, like I said, guys, we're looking for 10 points in runners. kind of want to see that 91 area possibly get hit here. We still could get the push back up to the 90s, so just be aware of that, guys. If we push back up to the 91s, I'll just add in. Like I said, we could easily get a push back up to the 90s here. I want to be right below that pivot. Yeah, back up to that pivot. What scares me if we can't lose the 80s here, if we can't lose the 80s here, we're pushing back up. We got to get through these 80s. There we go. Oh, another freaking 75 touch, man. What's up, man? Sorry if I'm not looking at the chat in a minute. Give me a minute and I'll look at the chat, guys. Nick, did you take the retest of the pivot? Scares me that we're not pushing through the 70s here like quickly. All right. Now I can focus on the charts, guys. I just had to get through that real quick. Nix, did you hop back in that pivot retest at the 10s? What? I thought you were waiting on the pivot retest. Oh, I thought you were waiting on that one. I thought you said you had a resting order sitting up there. Oh, you said it just came up to. Okay, I got what you're saying. I missed that. For some reason, I was thinking you had a resting order sitting at 695. What's up, Solo? Might get that 100-point boner candle this morning, guys. Oh, shoot. We're about to have a new 5-minute candle. Could have a pullback here. Keep it going. All right, we're going to at least lock in 50 points. I can't be up 80 points and this crap come all the way back up there and hits me break even. That would suck. I'm hoping this hourly candle here will hold up here at the 30s. It looks like it's hitting. That's what it's hitting, this hourly candle. So far, the hourly's holding. I was trying to see where we could run to. I feel like we could go to the 530s if we get through the 600s. That's on the 5 minutes, though. I need to probably look at higher time frames and see where we could go. possible, if we're looking at the 15 minutes, the next big wick is down at 50, 530. Oh. All right, we'll just shoot for we'll close it at 94 then. I don't feel like battling it. All right, nice. Whew. Close that out. We actually got the 100 points today. Yesterday, we ended up just pulling back and hitting 70. Nice pivot retest. You can see it. I mean, it was a little shoddy this morning, but those early morning pivot tests can be kind of iffy. But, man, when it gets after that 10 o'clock hour, most of the time they're pretty stout. So, all right. So that's going to put us up 350 on the elusive count and 200 in the Apex funded account. And we're going to be red in our Bulanox funded accounts. So, but I didn't want to put, I still have my Bewley evals that I want to log back on and trade, but I don't want to be tempted to trade those fundeds. Look at the beautiful Ricos this morning, guys. This is how we entered this trade, guys. We did not. That's why it looked weird on the 5 minutes for anybody that was new here. I entered that trade off of these candles. So this is, whenever you hear me calling these levels out, it's based off these EMAs. So this is why where I had my entry a while ago. Remember where I moved my stop loss above the 710s? Not besides the pivots there, but more likely sometimes when you get these little bit deeper pullbacks on these candles, it'll pull back to your 50 EMA. Then once I saw the 50 EMA hold, and then once we dropped back below that 9 EMA, we pretty much got into that trend. So we're able to follow that trend all the way down. For anybody that's curious. Nice call, Fish Lips. I'm glad I got out of that because that thing's probably going to pull back. So, I didn't do that yesterday, Fish Lips, and it cost me like 30 points. What's up, man? They're just the normal classic 9, 21, and 50. They love to follow the 9 EMA, man. They will follow that 9 EMA to the grave. Whenever I'm trading these and we get into like a nice range where, so basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for everything to be crossed over. So I'm looking for the 9 and 21 to be crossed over the 50, and I'm looking for the 50 or 21 and 50 EMA cloud to also be in the direction that we're trading. And you're just waiting for pullbacks, and as long as it's the cloud's still red, as long as the EMAs are still in the right direction, you get a nice trend. So usually it takes 3 candles to make 10 points. So that's why a lot of times I shoot for 10 points, because that's usually what I'm doing. So like I probably would have got short here and look at, all right, there's my 10 points. Now I'm in my runner. Takes 3 candles to make 10 points. I haven't really got to the point where I trade these on fundeds. These are all eval trades that I trade on these candles mostly. They're the ones that look really weird on my 5-minute charts. Look at this. Look at this 21 pullback. The 21 pullback with a nice trend, those are like 10-point gold. They're like constantly print 10 points. Let me look at settings. It's been a while since I've looked at my settings on that, just to be positive. Let's see. Okay, it's just a 21 cloud. I think at one time I used to have two different ones on there. I used to have the 21 and the 50. So there's not really a lot for us to do right here, but just kind of sit and wait. Like I said, my only other two evals I have is that gold eval that we've been trading in the evening. So we've taken back-to-back day of $500 gold trades, back-to-back days. So we've been banging it on the gold this week in the evenings. It's been a good trading session besides that oopsie-doo at the opening this morning, guys. Like I said, we don't need to log back onto those accounts. So I did set up my trader launch account that we could trade. If you guys, it's on, the only thing about it, it's on Quantower, and I'm not a fan of trading on Quantower. I'm hoping eventually they get their stuff moved over to Ninja Trader. What's up, Must? How are you doing? Nix, did you find your $150 trade this morning, or are you still just kind of sitting on the sideline? Solo, what about you? Have you taken any trades this morning? Oh, you don't speak English? I wonder why YouTube doesn't have captions on their live streams. Or do I got to turn captions on? If anybody knows the answer to that, I don't know. Dude, it's okay to miss a trade, man. I hesitate quite a bit on whenever I'm that close to a pay. I don't blame you. I mean, if you're $150 away from a $2,000 payout, that is... Oh, the viewer can? I guess I don't know how to... Oh, the viewer can turn it on. Okay. No. Where did you blow up your funded? Did you hop in? Did you try to long or something somewhere? Or are you going super heavy again today? Thanks for the follow, Painter. What entry were you in, Nick? Oh, 3 minis. Whew. No, where was your entry? Like, what position? Where was your entry at a while ago? Oh, you DCA'd. Wait, were you in 30 micros? Did you DCA in 30 micros? If you're going to do the DCA kind of like what I was, oh, three mini. Oh, man, I don't even see. That's pretty wild. 3 minis. So where was your original entry at? Was it the pullback into the pivot? 620. So you were long at 620? Oh, you got long on this candle right here. Is this one that you tried to long? Ah, okay. It looks like it's going to do the same thing it did to you yesterday. You have the right direction pick. You just like one candle too early. Watch this thing push all the way back up to 681 here. Mm. You should probably get a little pushback, I would imagine, to the 25s if it's just hit the 50. Oh, maybe not. There's that wick right there, so it bounced off that wick. Oh, you were copy trading an eval and a fundeds. Yeah, those two, I don't usually ever copy trade my fundeds and evals. I just do it with the two. Oh, you burnt the eval? Oh, you were 1,000 away? Mm. Look at this crap, man. Dude, 100-point pop. Fish Lips, I'm so glad you told me to get out of this thing. So you got $1,000 payout on that one? Dude, look at that midnight rejection candle. Mm. Sorry, I'm not looking for a trade at the moment. I can only take one on my elusive one or trade or launch. I don't want to log back onto my Bulanox accounts and be tempted to take any trades on those two accounts that are red. Because we took a loss on the funded accounts this morning on the very first trade. So, and the way I play those accounts is a one trade and done. So either it's going to be a break even trade, a red trade, or green trade. Like 3 minis, yes. That's pretty, woo, 3 mini deep. That's pretty wild, Nick. Oh, shoot. Dude, look at this 100-point rejection off of the freaking retest of the goodness. What's up, Oliver? So glad you modified the view. Are you talking about the horizontal screen? This one's there, I want to say every day, unless you're usually on the vertical one. Yeah, I still have the vertical. Thank you guys for helping me get over 2K subscribers today. Maybe a methodical man will throw you some dollar bills your way or something. Methodical man's the man with all the free accounts. He's hoarding them over there. Tell him to come off those things. He's hoarding them. I know. Oh, it's like I also wait for the 15 gap fill. That is something I don't know very much about. That I know you've talked about it a few times, Fish Lips, for that 15-second gap fill in. Okay, post an example of it. Yeah, I've heard you mention that thing a few times, but I don't ever look at the 15-second charts. I don't think my brain could process the 15-second charts. I'll be like long, short, long, short, long, short. I'll be like so freaking confused. I wouldn't even know which way to go. It would just be like all the back and forth, man. I just couldn't do it. That definitely would take a lot of practice and a lot of watching to trade the 15 seconds. As right now, guys, we're just kind of sitting on our hands. You blew an account that had a $2,000 buffered. Dude, Mick, we've all done that stupid stuff, man. It does suck, but trust me, we've all done it. I've even done that with a funded account before, Nick, where I was probably less than $400 away from like $1,000 payout and freaking went in over heavy, then double up my size on the next one, and man, I have definitely been there, done that, man. That's why I kind of went back to focus. So after I blew my funded elusive earlier this week, that's why we went back to focusing on our Apex trades to try to get those to pay out, because I still need about $800 for a payout on Apex. And I still now, instead of the 800 on Bulanox, I need probably about $900 to $1,000 on Bulanox. It looks like it took me back down to the buffer, because remember I was at 800. It was down in the 600s, if I can recall. So now we're back to the buffer on the fundeds. Man, to me, this just almost looks like a pullback. You would think this thing looks like it just. I wonder if we're gonna get the push down here. Oh, you told yourself no more minis. Dude, the minis will just wreck your day like no other. I try to only do minis if I can't help it on evals only. I know anytime I try to trade minis on my fundeds, I just get destroyed, because all it takes is one bad trade to wreck your day. And that's usually what happens. You know, these times where you see me in drawdown, I mean, heck, 40 points in drawdown on a mini is like $800 or even $1,000 with 50 points. And the nasty girl, she'll give you 50 points out of nowhere. It looks like we're creating a little flag here. Besides, this big ugly wick kind of messed it up. I'm not really sure what this wick was, because that was kind of a weird 5-minute candle that went up 100 points and came right back down. What's up, D? How are you doing? Yes, Joel, we're on MNQ. Not at the moment, D. We just got out of a trade a few minutes ago, and we're just kind of being patient and waiting. I'm waiting to see if we're going to break to the downside, but we could rerun this wick back up here, which was just kind of a strange looking wick. But it looks like we're kind of creating a little bear flag here for breakout to the downside. What's up, Young? How are you doing? This is the 5-minute time frame. It depends on which one you pick, Joel. I would have to look. I looked at that last night, but I can't remember which one it is. One eval has a consistency rule, and one funded has a consistency rule, and they're flipped. Let me look. I'll look on here for you real quick. We're doing good, Young. Thank you. All right, let's see. So for the pro, there is, I don't see no consistency rule on the eval. And it's a end of day. But on the funded, there's a 40% consistency. On the flex, if you get the flex eval, there's a 50% consistency. And that's what I'm trading is the flex one. But when you get to the fundeds, there is no consistency rule. So I would rather have the 50% on the eval with no consistency rule on the funded. If I had to pick one. Well, I mean, I did. I mean, that's why I like the flex. I like that there's no consistency rule on the funded because you can, it doesn't matter how much money you make once you're funded. But with the pro, there is the consistency rule. What's up, J Max? How are you doing today? Let's see. Yeah, you would just have to have like multiple accounts. I think that's per account, Joel. Nix, how many payouts have you gotten with Lucif? I know you said that you were talking about how you spent a lot, but you actually made decent profit a few months back or a month back or something. At least I thought that, or it might have been somebody else. I can't remember. Dude. I got in this one kind of late. Back above 600s, I'll close this because I got in late. I'll just re-enter. All right. That was a 75 push, so that's pretty normal to push back up to 800. Want to see the 110s to 114 holds. If those holds, you think we're about to flip long? I want to say the same thing, except for most of it's vertical J Max. Right now, we're kind of banging off the 21 EMA on the Rico candles, and the 9 EMA sitting at 604. The next lineup is going to be your 31. If you start losing the 31s up there, more likely we're going to start crossing back over. I didn't even look to see if we got. Man, you'd be lucky to get 70. Yeah, there's no volume. I'll give us another minute or so, then we'll probably remove this because I thought we'd get another push to the 75s or even the 50s before we moved up higher. All right. All we're doing is just trying to add to our winners. So I don't really know what the 40% consistency rule with the flex. Let me look that up real quick because I'm up 350. So I know I'm fairly close. Let me see what that is. How much can you make? Okay, $500 is the most that you can make on a 25K. Excuse me. Is there anybody in an entry right now? Is anybody long or short? Is there a target that you're looking for? We're probably going to the 50 since I took my order off. That's the way it usually goes. Once we hit the 80, that's a winner for me because I'm just looking for 10 points with my runner. But it was just taking way too long. Still just grinding. Done with the Apex PAs. Nice solo. Yeah, I got 2 evals that I could trade with my Bewley accounts, but I'm red on my fundeds on the Bewlenox today, and I don't want to put them on there and not accidentally be tempted to take trades with them. So we're just trying to put them away until tomorrow. Then we'll just trade the evals later this evening. Wow, this thing. uh, that was crazy. Is that gonna be our 10 points? Oh, come on. Nope. Still no 10 points. It may get stuck at the 75s again. There's the 80s. That would have been my 10 points. So that's 3 candle prints. There's your 75 again. It was just taking way too long to set up, guys. Man. I was thinking we had at least one more 50 pushed in us. Uh-oh. What do we get? 60? Still a few points away from the 50. So if I was still in the short, we would have been first 10 points. Then I would have been looking for a 50 touch. I want to say if you look at your volume here, there's really not much down here past the today's orders. Maybe if you go a few days out, there's quite a bit of orders sent down at the 24,400s. And that's from May 9th. Yeah, there's just no orders down there around the 50s. Oh. Solo, when you mean you're done with the PAs, does that mean you passed them or you just done your trading for the day? Back to the data wick. Was that a data wick up there? Was that a data candle? I didn't think we had nothing. That up there at the 720s? I don't know what the Jones Act is, Solo. What is that supposed to allow you to do? Building up a nice little 5-minute trend line here, guys. For it, you would think that you get a nice move back to the top side if you can break this trend line. Yeah, I would have to probably look that up. Oh, nobody knows. Oh, yeah, I don't have no idea what that is. Oh man. I'm assuming it's like a bill or something that's trying to get passed in Russia. That was just the news. We'll hang out for about another 10 more minutes. I don't know if we'll take any more entries. Like I said, we won't take any more Bewley, probably anymore. So, see, we're 200 on one funded account. The 353 is a eval. Let's log out of that one. Here's the 2 red days that we took. You can see it put us back down to the threshold of the 26,600 and 52,600. This was from last night. We took that. We made $500 in gold last night and basically 240 trading the eval last night. in the Asia market. So good Asia session last night. Unfortunately, we did have the right direction pick this morning on the shorts. I just couldn't withstand that drawdown that I needed to have because you guys, I'm 20 to 30 points is my max drawdown whenever I'm trading these funded accounts. So if I hit drawdown, I just take the loss and move on. So we're going to have to log out of those because we don't want to have any temptations to trade those. So we log off. So we're just going to leave those sitting to the side. All right, logged off. Don't have to look at those no more, guys. Put them away. Come back tomorrow and be like, okay, we're at 52,600. And so we still need to make a $900 to $1,000. Maybe I can work on getting those Apex to pay out instead. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Thank you guys for the likes and follows. Hopefully everybody had a somewhat of a good trading session. Not too bad. Is bottom fishing for you today? Yeah, I'll probably sit here and watch charts for another 10 more minutes. But I'm not going to take any more trades. I kind of wanted to take that short while ago, but to see if we could get, I know we could have probably got our 10 points, but I'd have much rather had a deeper runner than the 30 points. All right, guys. Thank everyone for watching. Please stay safe the rest of the day if you're going to continue trading the lunch hour. Hopefully we get a nice move in the lunch hour today. And we will be back for the Asia session this evening. We do have some 3-star news today at 30 minutes. So just be aware of that if you're in a trade. You would think if we break this 5-minute trend line to the upside that we would rerun that wick back up there. All right, guys. Everyone have a good evening.